like to present to you our guest speaker for this first half of the afternoon. I guess I'll let him introduce himself. Please welcome Mayan.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, Rado. First, I want to thank you all for coming, for your time, and my introduction actually will be very short, and it will be mostly about the things that are related to the subject, that is about 2012 event. So I've been in contact with extraterrestrial technology for a long time. Actually, I become one with this biological body in 1973, and actually I came here on this planet just to do my part of the work, if you will, right, to help in the process of the transition of the consciousness towards some brighter future that awaits in near future. Let me just put this inside. Okay. All right, so we can start. All right, we have so many things to talk about, and actually I have come together here just to share a message that I was passed from the extraterrestrial intelligence, what humanity actually needs to do in order that we prevent certain things that are going to happen in near future. So I will dedicate this talk actually to everyone who is really seeking for the truth, actually where did we came from, what are we doing here, where are we going, and where everything that we see around us is going to, right? So I will take you back in time 30 years ago. Actually, I will take you back to 1980 in Macedonia, in Skopje, right, which is the capital city of Macedonia in the Balkan region. And this is actually my first house when I was living in Skopje, and I was living very close to a river with the name Vardar, which is the biggest river of Macedonia. And my first contact with the extraterrestrials, if you will, happened actually in this place. So this is my mother, Josefina Andova. She also was telling me about similar experiences, seeing lights in the night, moving in strange formation, appearing, reappearing, and also she was taken at least few times before I was born, if you will, right? So this is the place that it happened the first time. Actually, I was coming here with my older brother, and he was 14 years older than me. I was 7 at the time, and he was 21, right? And actually, he was very good into the martial arts, and I was enjoying watching his movements. But beside that, we used to sit on the rocks very near the river, enjoying the river and the night sky. So actually, it's very difficult to see because it's too bright, but it doesn't matter. That's where actually the river is. And this, thank you very much. So actually, this is the place where I spotted something unusual. Beside the full moon, I started to observe a huge ball of fire, which was mostly orange and yellow. Sometimes it turns to red, but most orange and yellow. And it was burning like fire, and I got very confused, and I asked my brother how come there could be two moons on the sky. Since I didn't got any response for a few seconds, I turned I looked towards my brother, and he was actually frozen and staring into the ball of light, if you will, right? So after that, there was a huge flash. Everything became whiteness, and I started to experience like a loss of gravity of some sort. Then the whiteness actually started to shift. It started to become more liquidized, if you will, right? And afterwards, I started to see that there is some kind of being staring at me from some kind of opening. So the best I can describe those entities as the beings that are described in the movies Contact and The Knowing. So whoever is controlling that movie industry actually is getting the information from somewhere, so I can confirm for those kind of appearances that they exist and they're real as we are, if you will, right? So I was told not to be afraid, didn't feel any danger, and for a while I lost it, and then I reappeared the consciousness, and there was something similar above, and I started to experience certain kinds of lasers and beams of light going on and off of my body, and sometimes it felt hotter, sometimes colder, depends on the beam, I guess, right? But they were doing something to me definitely, and after a few hours they returned me back to my home. And as soon as I opened my physical eyes, I got the recollection what just took place, and I remember my brother and just jump out of the bed directly to walk into the room of my brother to see how he is doing. And when I entered his room, I found him completely sitting on the bed with blood coming from his nose, and he was very terrified. He was shaking, and he had no recollection what took place. He only remembers that he got that we were beside the river, and that's all that. And he had no idea how we actually got back home, and actually he had a missing time, if you will, right? So before they actually returned me, and they passed me this message to me, I recall it clearly as 30 years ago. So they said, we are glad that, they said that they are glad that they had found me before the others did. From now on, we will know where you are, and we will be able to protect you. We have done something to you in order that you will be able to experience certain things that will help you to understand better what has to be done when time comes. Don't worry, we will guide you all the way and help you whenever you really need us. They also said this, it was a strong voice in my head. Actually, the whole message was transmitted telepathically, if you will. So they said, remember this, you're here to play a major role in the process of awakening. As the time will pass by, more you will remember. Humanity is heading towards a great change. Many spirits will return to the stars, and something magnificent is going to happen. So here we are 30 years after talking about this event. Very soon after this event, actually, I started to experience strange anomalies, if you will, right? I had become more sensible. I started to feel the borders of table, the walls, everything is what it was like. I was feeling something similar, like dolphins are diving through the water, and they actually scan the area where they're actually moving, like some kind of sonar. I started to pick up voices in my head. Actually, it was completely matching the thoughts of my mother, my brother, and other people around me, if you will. But the most interesting thing that I actually experienced, I started to experience weightless during the night, fully conscious. I started to feel that like a gravity is switched off in the room, and I started to levitate up, seeing my physical body down on the bed, if you will. And I was playing a few times up and down when I saw actually that I'm not going to die and it's not dangerous, if you will. Still not understanding completely what is going on, that actually this is what is known as astral projection in the modern times. Then I encouraged myself. I started to use this transparent body, if you will. I moved through the walls, moved through the roofs, and I started to actually experience that I can control this body, fully aware, like I'm aware now. But every time that I was doing this, there was a light in the background, if you will, somewhere, always following me. I didn't feel any threat from that light, if you will. It was always there, more protective, if you will, bless you. And actually, those experiences become very strong, and like I said, things got to the stage that I was able to see things. And there was an event that it's too long, it's there in the DVDs, who is interested to see it, that took place, and my mother got very worried what kind of abilities actually are those, and she started to threaten me that she will take me to doctor or somewhere else just to see what exactly is going on with me and how I'm able to do these things, if you will, right? So things got really, really quiet for a while. I know that she was very serious, and I just retreated that force deeper in me, if you will. It started to fade. It came back a few times during the years, but not into such scale like I was 7. And then when actually went into, how should I say, come to the teenage age, if you will, I was introduced to the esoteric spiritual sciences and chi energy development by my uncle Rudek Možar. He was very initiated into the esoteric. He was traveling into Tibet, Mongolia and Nepal, and that's where actually I started to train, to develop my chi energy, inner chi energy, outer chi energy, and martial arts also. And many times actually I was staying into the meditation more than 6 hours per day, developing my inner senses, if you will. But the most powerful thing actually that took place was the awakening of the so-called Kundalini energy that comes from the base of the spinal cord, if you will, and moves straight towards the brain, and actually it causes exteriorization of the consciousness. So I really soon come to the shape that I was able to do the same that I was doing when I was very little. I started to project my consciousness out of my physical body, like something similar that people describe as near-death experience, if you will, where they actually have full awareness of themselves and they're completely without the physical body. So it took a while until I start to go further and further and to explore. Usually I come somewhere around 40 kilometers up, and that's where actually I was hitting some kind of obstacle, and always my astral travel was actually blocking in that height, if you will. So after a while I started to train more progressively, more DNA actually awakened, and I was able to become, I become stronger, so I actually penetrate even further from that level, if you will, which is some sort is keeping most of the consciousness of this planet actually trapped, if you will. So I will elaborate more about that some other. But the interesting part, soon as I started to move out of the planet, I started to observe flying crafts, if you will. I started to observe activity around the planet, which actually no one was talking about. There was nothing on the news. No one was referring as such phenomena exist at all. And that's where actually I started to recognize that humanity is under observation of at least 5 or 6 races who has different agendas, if you will. Some are positive, some are neutral, some are something else, right? So this actually connections and experience actually was put into my diary. Thousands and thousands out of the body experiences were actually put into the paper, and quite of diaries. Most of the people that train out of the body, control out of the body experience, actually are not able to stay out of the physical body more than few minutes. I was doing it for hours and hours, and the best that I was able to achieve when I was in best shape was around 33 light years away from home, if you will. So I will give you the data, so whatever you do, it's your choice, right? So this happened actually in 1993. I was describing craft lights like this, especially around the meteor belt between Jupiter and Mars, and also balls of light very close to the atmosphere. And it take a while until the technology actually become more sufficient or evolved, if you will, to be able to record those things. So you can see those crowds that I was describing. No one was actually listening 100% because actually there was no proof that I could tell them, but actually those were the. So in this video, you can see from the Martin Stubbs actually who took the direct download. You can see this is the planet Earth. It's in black and white because it's on infrared. This is from STS-63, and you can see they're trying to find Mir space station before it burn out, but they cannot find it because more than 100 objects are appearing and disappearing on the radar. Usually it's very easy to find something in the space, This is from STS-8. Actually, you can see the same ball of light what I was describing going into some kind of formation, if you will, and then the central one is going to come in the middle. And this is from the other angle, where you can see actually many times when there are storms, you can bet that there are at least a few hundred objects hovering above the clouds, generating or accumulating the discharged energy from the thunders. We are talking about the orgone energy, and also there are some antimatter particles that are released from this thunderstorm. So just this one was 1.5 miles in diameter, so we are talking about a huge object. So actually they are charging on the energy released by the thunderstorms, if you will, and that's what they use for their proportional systems.